Listen carefully يا خالد. Match sentences in column A to the sentences in column B. Right? Khalid, are you
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes.
So listen to 10 people giving advice about how to wake up in the morning. Can you wake in the morning, ya Khalid, on time? Or it's difficult to wake up in the
Make
morning?
what?
Is it easy or difficult for you to wake up in the morning, to get up in the morning in your school time?
Depends on how much hours I sleep.
So
But
sometimes
usually it is hard.
easy for you, right? So some people, ya Khalid,
Yes.
some people are suffering from getting up or problems with getting up in the morning. So you will listen to 10 people giving advice about how to wake up in the morning. How to wake up in the morning. What should you do? Listen carefully and match the sentences in column A to the sentences in column B. Here, number 1, 3 are done for you. Okay? Ready to listen? Listen and match. Ready, Khalid?
Yes.
Khalid, are you ready?
Yes, I said yes.
Okay. I reckon you should use a louder alarm clock. 2, why don't you get someone to wake you up? Why don't you get someone to wake you up? 3, how about using 2 alarm clocks? How about using 2 alarm clock or two alarm clocks? 4, if I were you, I'd go to sleep earlier. If I were you, I'd go to sleep earlier. 5, I suggest you have an afternoon nap. I suggest you have an afternoon nap. 6, you would really better change your habits. You would really better change your habits. 7, I would strongly advise you to set your alarm earlier. My advice would be to get a new alarm clock. My advice would be to get a new alarm clock. 9, it might be a good idea to ask your parents to help you. It might be a good idea to ask your parents to help you. 10, you might try sleeping with the window open. You might try sleeping with the window open. Khalid, listen again. Did you finish? Khalid,
No need to say again. Yes, finish.
Again, double check, please. I reckon you should use a louder alarm clock. 2, why don't you get someone to wake you up? 3, how about using 2 alarm clocks? 4, if I were you, I'd go to sleep earlier. 5, I suggest you have an afternoon nap. 6, you would really better change your habits. 7, I would strongly advise you to set your alarm earlier. 8, my advice would be to get a new alarm clock. 9, It might be a good idea to ask your parents to help you. 10. You might try sleeping with the window open. Done, Khalid? Can you answer, please? I reckon you should.
2D. One is also.
I reckon. Reckon, ya Khalid, what does it mean? I reckon means I think.
Is a louder.
I think.
Yes.
I think you should use a louder alarm clock. H. Why don't you?
D.
Why don't
Get someone
you?
to wake you up.
Why don't you? Here. Why don't you get someone to wake you up? Perfect. Right? E. Finished. How about 3?
How about using 2 alarm clock?
How about using 2 alarm clock? I. If I were you, can you complete?
Okay. E. If I were you, I would go to sleep earlier.
Exactly. I'd here, ya Khalid, stands for I would. I would go to sleep earlier. 5. I suggest.
Okay. You have an afternoon nap.
Exactly. You have an afternoon nap. You can sleep, J. You can sleep for a short time in the afternoon. Type. You would really better. 6, ya Khalid. You would really better.
Change your habits.
You would really better here. You would really better change your habits. B. Right? I would strongly advise you. I would strongly advise you. F. To set your alarm clock.
Your alarm.
I would strongly advise you to set your alarm clock. F. My advice would be
C. To get a new alarm clock.
to get a new alarm clock. Type. It might be a good idea. 9. To ask your parents to help you.
To ask your parents to help you.
It might be a good idea to ask your parents to help you. You might try sleeping with the window
open.
That's it. So here, Khalid, after giving advice like this, so what structure should you use to give me advice? So again, consider your advice at the beginning of our lesson today when I told you I am tired today, right? You told me eat a bar of chocolate. Now, can you give me the same advice using any way to give advice? You can say you should. Why don't you? How about if I were you? I suggest. You would really better. I would strongly advise you. My advice would be, it might be a good idea. You might try. Could you give me advice using one of these structures? Give me 3 ways, please. Let me write it again. Stop sharing this.
My advice.
You advised me, Khalid, eat a bar of chocolate. What should you write at the beginning? Use one of these adjective structures from 1 to 10. You
I
can
would
say,
suggest.
I suggest, huh? I suggest you
I
eat a bar of
suggest
chocolate, or huh? Why don't you? You can say like this, why don't
that you
you,
should eat a bar of chocolate.
why don't you eat a bar of chocolate? Or you can say, how about eating? How about eating a bar of chocolate? Or you can say, if I were you, if I were you, أنا لو كنت مكانك, I'd eat a bar of chocolate. Okay? Or you can say, you should eat a bar of chocolate. You should eat a bar of chocolate. Another one you can say, you might try eating a bar of chocolate. Is it clear, Khalid, now? Khalid, clear?
Yes.
So, when you give advice, ya Khalid, you have
Yes.
different ways. You need to start your advice in different ways. You have 10 different ways. You can say you should, number one, or you can say why don't you, number two, or you can say how about, or if I were you, or I suggest, or you would really better, or I strongly advise you, my advice would be, or it might be a good idea, or you might try. Is it clear, Khalid?
Yes.
Okay, so let me stop sharing this and share my screen again. Now, ya Khalid, please consider these structures. These structures can be followed by to, or, without to, or ing. Again, these structures, ya Khalid, here ya Khalid, given advice, forms or structures, you can use the structure plus two, here plus two, here without two, here plus ing. Okay, Khalid? طيب, you should يا خالد, you should eat a bar of chocolate, or you should to eat a bar of chocolate. Khalid, are you with me? Khalid, are you there? Khalid, very soon. طيب, to give advice, ya Khalid, you have three ways. After after the structure, you need to use to, or without to, or plus ing. When you say number one, ya Khalid, you should to eat, or you should eat.
You should eat.
Okay. طيب why don't you? Why?
Without to.
Without to. Why don't you again eat? Blah blah blah. طيب how about يا خالد? Where should you write how about?
The beginning.
How about what? Eating or to eat or without to?
Eating.
How about eating a bar of chocolate? So how about you must write ing. طيب if I were you, huh, without to, without ing. Okay, so if I were you, different. I suggest. After suggest يا Khalid, I suggest eating a bar of chocolate. Why? Because suggest should be followed by a gerund. طيب you would really better to eat or without
Without to.
to? Without to, exactly. You can say like
Without
this,
to.
you would really better, yes, eat a bar of chocolate. طيب 7 يا Khalid, can you read it? I would strongly advise you. I would strongly advise you to. I would strongly advise you to eat a bar of chocolate. Okay? طيب, my advice would be last one يا Khalid. The last one. It might be a good idea. It might be a good idea. It might be a good idea. Look here, to ask. So after this structure, you should use to plus verb 1. Type you might try sleeping with
ing.
exactly ing. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, so Khalid here, what is the difference between? Yes, what is the difference between advise and advice? Advise. Here C, here S. What is the difference? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see, but I don't know the difference.
Khalid, advice noun, advise verb. Again, advice noun, advise verb. Advise نصيحة, advise ينصح. Advice uncountable noun. Uncountable noun. Okay? So means you can say advices. No, don't say advices. You can say some advice. So here you can say my advice would be to study hard before the test, for example. So here my advice. But here you can say my teacher advises me to study hard for the test. Okay, Khalid, does it make sense? Khalid?
Yes.
Or you can say, you can ask your teacher for advice. Can you give me some advice? Some advice means give me a group of advice, maybe a short list of advice, more than one statement. A group of, or give me some advice, please. How to study hard for the test. Can you please, Ya Khalid, read the language tab? Here, read the language tab, please. Here for further details.
Okay.
The word advice, noun, advise, verb are often confused. Can you read it?
Okay. Can you go
Yes, go
about?
ahead.
Okay. Look at these two examples. My advice would be to revise all the units in the book. Teacher strongly advised us to receive all the units in the book. Advice is an uncountable word. My advice would be my advice. Can you go down,
Okay,
please?
sure, yes.
My advice would be have give me this advice. This is wrong. You should say he gave me some good advice. Advice is irregular verb. Advise it, advise it. Compare with practice and practice earlier in this unit. Remember that in US English, the spelling does not change. Both the noun and the verb are practice.
Yes, well done. Okay, so in the same way, Ya Khalid, we have practice C with C and the practice with S, right? So in the American English, practice verb and noun, but the British English practice noun with C noun, S is verb. Does it make sense? Clear? Is it clear, Khalid? Khalid, are you with me? Khalid? Khalid? Khalid, can you see?
Yes.
Okay, Khalid. Now I give you some exercises how to use advice and advise. Here, unit 7. not making 32. Khalid,
Yes.
طيب. Khalid here. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Underline the suffixes in each word. Availability, right? Focus on the suffixes in each word, right? Availability, chapter or cheaper, ER, excitement, mint, guidance, hence, happiness, ness, imagination, Asian, luxuriously, luxuriously, LY, loving, ING. Is it clear for you?
Yes.
Type. Now what you do, the following sentences sound strange. Rewrite the sentences, turning each of the underlined phrases into a word with a suffix. David painted the picture with great care, right? With great care. Great care, I need to replace the same word or these words with just one word. So David painted the picture carefully. Here write what? Care, this is the main word, right? Careful, carefully. Carefully means with great care. He changed it from noun, he changed the noun care into adverb carefully.
Careful.
Careful, care, care, careful, then carefully. So here care, this is the base form of the word, then full, suffix, here add another suffix ly. So here you have two suffixes, carefully. Also you can give the same meaning or the opposite meaning, careless. Here less, another suffix, careless. Okay, without any care. Does it make sense? Khalid, are you with me?
Yes.
Right. The next one. Anthony painted without caring. Without caring.
Carelessly.
Perfect. Carelessly. Well done. So Anthony painted without carelessly. I wrote a letter full of gratitude for the lovely flowers. Full of gratitude.
Happy feeling.
So I wrote a letter. Huh?
Uh, gratefully.
Exactly. Grateful. Here, gratefully means full of gratitude. Yani you are very thankful. You appreciate the flowers or sending the flowers. Type. They saw a puppy without a home, wandering the streets. Without a
Homeless.
home. Wonderful. Homeless. Homeless. Because here we need an adjective. They saw a puppy wandering homelessly, wandering the streets. Or you can say a homeless puppy. You can say homeless puppy. Right? The painting is full of beauty. Hmm. Full of beauty. Means what?
Amazing.
No, don't change the word. So the painting
Beautifully.
is, here we need adjective, ya Khalid.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. Exactly. Beautifully, if you have an adverb, but here we need to use an adjective. Beautiful. Big dogs, if looked after carefully, are without harm. Without harm.
Harmless. Harmless.
Harmless. Perfect. Harmless. Okay, Khalid, is it clear? So again, to give advice, ya Khalid,
Yes.
I give you now, let me stop sharing this. I give you a question on the board. Your close friend is careless and he doesn't study well for his final exams next week. Okay? What should you do, ya Khalid? What should you do? Write some advice to help him get ready for the exams. Give me, ya Khalid, or give him 5 tips. You have 3 minutes to finish. You can write in your notebook. Please, ya Khalid, in your writing, you should give me different structures. Before you start, ya Khalid, can you give me which structure should you use to give advice?
Okay. I
Huh.
suggest
Okay.
plus ing or wha-
Yes. Mm-hmm.
how about plus ing
Okay.
also or why you want you without two or ing.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Khalid. Yes, you can start, please. Are you done, Khalid?
Yes.
Could you read your statements, please, or your tips?
I suggest starting to study your exams from now.
Okay. Again, please.
I suggest starting to study your exams.
Okay. Another one.
Why won't you be more careful about your exams?
Why don't you be more careful? Yes, well done. Perfect.
Why, how about studying well for them?
Wonderful. MashaAllah Ali. Perfect. Ya Khalid. Let me clap for you. Yes. One more.
I only three, like you said.
Again,
Oh,
please.
5.
Yeah.
Okay. One more. I raised 3. Okay, okay.
Anything else?
I made only 3. I thought only 3.
Yeah, that's enough. Perfect, ya Khalid. Well done. So now I'd like your homework is ya Khalid. Let me save this. Right? Right? And essay to your school magazine to advise your school mates to advise your schoolmates how to get ready for end of term exams. Okay, write an essay from 150 to 200 words. Give them generic tips, what they should and what they shouldn't do to get ready for the final exams. Does it make sense? Dear Khalid, could you please here, let me share this with you in your WhatsApp. Write an essay to your here. Clear, Khalid?
Yes.
Okay. So what did you study today, Khalid? What did you study today? How to give advice and make suggestions. Right? To make advice, you can use you should. If I were you, you would really better. I would strongly advise you. My advice you would be, it might be a good idea. You might try blah blah blah. After that, you can to give suggestion or to make suggestions, you can use how about or what about or I suggest. And all of them must be followed by gerund or ing. Okay, Khalid, is it clear for you now? Any questions?
Yes. No. Thank you.
Okay, Khalid, thank you very much. Stay safe, take care. Have a nice day. See you inshallah next Thursday. Thank you very much.